What's going on, everyone? Welcome on back to the channel. Thank you so much, as always, for being here. Hopefully you're having a lovely day out there. I just walked back in, putting a table outside, because I don't usually do this, but I ordered some Uber Eats, because my wife is my wife is out, and I have nothing to eat. I've used all my groceries, and I'm like, you know what? I don't usually do this, but I'm going to splurge today. I'm going to order some Uber Eats. So I got some ramen on the way. Ramen? It's a good time. Let's go ahead and finish out, however, the White Album from the Beatles with the final track on the album. I don't have anything up here. I literally have nothing up, so give me a second. I know it's Good Nights. Let me see. I know, because we just listened to the really interesting Revolution 9. Good Night. Okay, I couldn't remember if there was something after the Good Night, but nope, it is just Good Nights. So, obviously this is the end. I know that a lot of you have mentioned listening to some other tracks, like the other versions of Revolution. Well, more than likely, I will do that. But this will be the official ending of the album here. And coming off of the really interesting Revolution 9, I mean, we just talked about it a little bit ago. And for you guys, it's a different day, but for me, it's the same day. Well, actually, it's the next day. Thinking about it. But I just really like how all those snippets, all those clips, all that disaster and distress that was built up, the tension, eventually flowed right into Good Night here. So I'm excited. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the very ending of Revolution 9 once again. Hold on, right there. I'm gonna go right to the last few seconds of it, and we'll let it lead on into Good Night. So let's go ahead and do that right now, and let's go. Sounds like a theremin right there.
Dream, sweet dreams for me. The moon begins to shine.
Got a little bit of an ASMR good night there at the end. Okay, I really don't think that you could have asked for a better closer to this album. To this titan of diversity with different musical approaches, with all this sensationalism and all the extravagant directions that we've been pulled and tossed from, pleasurably, perhaps even uncomfortably. I don't think that you could have had a better ending than Good Night to this album, to something so eclectic, than to bring it down with a softly sung lullaby, a softly sung, almost like whimsical number. Right? I do see here that it's Ringo that's going to be singing on this one. What a great job he does here. His voice is perfect for something as softly sung and spoken as this track. Of course, with beautiful arrangements, just like a cloak garnered around everything, reining us in, telling us good nights, even in a sense, kind of not treating us like children, but giving us a similar treatment of, thank you for once again being on this journey with us. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. Just as we were introduced to them in the beginning, thank you so much for being here. And now, take it easy, rest up, relax. Good night. It's kind of putting us to bed with that warm blanket. That's really good. I think that you genuinely could not ask for a better closer to the album to put us down to. Dreams, sweet dreams for me. Close your eyes and I'll close mine. Good night, sleep tight. Now the moon begins to shine. Close your eyes and I'll close mine. Good night, sleep tight. Now the sun turns out his light. There's no deep, there may be, for all I know. There's an article for it. But there's nothing, as far as I know, necessarily deep about the lyrics. There's nothing to really read into it with that. This is them just, we're done. It's over. Thanks for being here. Good night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Let's however, look at this Wikipedia article for it. It says it's written by John Lennon, credited to Lennon McCartney. Of course, it's Ringo Starr, who's the only Beatle apparently performing on this track. The music, of course, provided by George Martin from the orchestra and the conducting there. It was written for Lennon's 5-year-old son, Julian. Good Night is, of course, the final song on this album. And I guess John Lennon is, or was, okay, here's good. The original version of this song features Starr on lead vocal, Harrison and Lennon playing melody on guitars, and McCartney singing the harmony. Take 10, with a guitar part from Take 5, was released on a later edition. I really like how, as filled up, for as much substance as you have on this album, there are still like so many outtakes and dubs and, et cetera, like that are just out there. I'm sure some that are known and some that are perhaps lost or in some secret, safe somewhere. Lennon recalled asking George Martin to give the song a lush orchestral arrangement in the style of old Hollywood films and admitted, yeah, corny. The orchestra comprises of 26 musicians, blah blah blah. I mean, it's really a beautiful song, and there definitely is that kind of musical, dreamy Disney Hollywood kind of quality to it. I was kind of hearing that, listening to it. It sounds like the end credits of a movie. Really, like it sounds like that final song sung by like in an old Disney movie. Like I'm thinking like Pinocchio or I don't know. I'm really feeling Pinocchio to be like I'm thinking that like this is that final wishing upon a star, good night, rest easy kind of thing. I mean that is fantastic. What a sensational album this all was. I'm very, what's the word? I'm very impressed. I mean, we've listened to a decent amount of the Beatles here already on the channel, and before listening to the Beatles here, I didn't grow up with them. They weren't like a band that was around for me personally. So me experiencing them in my adult life is my experience with them. And you know, I was initially with the Beatles. I'm just speaking as a whole. Like, okay, they're good. I hear them. They're cool. Like, sure, I get it. It's not really, completely up my alley, but I get it. I understand it. But as we've dived further and further into different albums, especially the White Album here, now the appreciation is really coming full. I mean, the appreciation was there before, but I mean now it's really growing, and I'm really understanding the history and their prominent place. Perhaps I mean very top modern artists and bands, and just how influential they are, they were, and they will be. It's a fantastic journey, and I thank you guys for being there with me on the journey, but also, of course, listening and suggesting the music in the first place, because without your suggestions, I may have not ever got here. Or if I did, may have been much, much later. So I thank you guys for that. Thank you so much for watching the videos and for being here with me on the journey and coming with me through this album. And to finish it all out, let's do the outro. Press the like button, press the subscribe button. You can, of course, support the channel for as little as $2 a month over on Patreon. Blah, blah, blah. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Come on back tomorrow, and good night.